Hey, what's good, people? This is Sports Debate Tuesday. Rob McLean, Jason DeBellis. We seem all excited. Maybe Rob got someone in a room. Anyway, the episode starts right now. Got to work the hell out of that new intro, man. We got a new intro coming. I got new subject matter, new everything. What's up, people? This is Sports Debate Tuesday, along with my man. Say it with me, Rob. Keep it, McLean. I am Jason DeBears. We're going to talk some football. We're going to talk some MMA. I don't know. We got some good, quick questions. I can't wait to hear your answer on this one. Can the Lakers win with Russell Westbrook? Can the Rams win with Odell Beckham Jr.? Is there life after volleyball and football and mixed martial arts? All of these questions are going to be answered, but first things first. Topic one, consolidating our little what we're doing with the NFL and how we want to talk about it. We're going to do it in a very cute fashion. So the question is this. Buffalo Bills got beat by the Jaguars, a team that has not won in the continent of North America until they beat the Bills. The Dallas Cowboys the previous week got absolutely barbecued. Which I call a de facto shutout. They got something we call empty calorie points at the end to make it look like, oh, they could have had it. And for the Cowboys fans, they're like, so you're saying there's a chance. So, big bounce back game for both of them. The Buffalo Bills have absolutely murked their competition, just put up 43 points. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Atlanta Falcons 43-3. Rob, my question to you is, which team had a better bounce back game? Was it the Dallas Cowboys or was it the Buffalo Bills?
If we're sticking with it just between those two, because I think the Chiefs had one of the best bounce back games of the year right now.
Yeah, but they didn't lose last week, though. They didn't lose
last
last
week,
but
though. They should have. They should have lost the last three. So I would say Dallas. Dallas had the best comeback just because, I thought Denver played a great game. I thought they played them tough. And Dallas just wasn't on their game. I thought, the Falcons could come and do the same thing, play them tough, maybe have a close victory, make them, make it a tough game. They just absolutely romped on them. They, just from the start, they just came out full throttle. And, when the offense is rolling like that, you can't really rock. I thought at least the Falcons would maybe make it an offensive game, but no, it was great on both sides of the ball. Trayvon Diggs with another pick. I just think that team, when it's going well, they have so many great players right now. I think, as much as I hate on Jerry Jones, I got to give him credit on the players that he drafts. He takes big swings on players that have great football IQ and have a really high potential, high risk, high reward. And he makes great choices, So I think the Cowboys have shown that they're a legitimate team, that they can come back from adversity, not only have their backup step up, but have, a great possibility of being Super Bowl champions this year. I can't believe I said it, but I said
it. You know what? As much as I'd like to sing my silly song, my "Let's Go Buffalo" song, which give my tribute to my Bills Mafia, I cannot let my love for one team or contempt for the other affect my critical thinking skills. And Rob, this is supposed to be a debate show, all set to disagree with you. And here we go again, agreeing on what is right. I got to go with the Dallas Cowboys too. I got to go with the Cowboys because that was such a bad loss. The Buffalo Bills loss, it was bad, all right? It was against the Jaguars, again, the team that has not won on this continent. They only beat Miami and London. But at some point in that game, you thought the Buffalo Bills were going to smarten up and they were going to win that game. They had some costly turnovers, some untimely turnovers that helped the Jaguars win the game. And I thought the Jaguars were moderately well coached. But the difference between that and the Dallas game against the Broncos is you always, even in the fourth quarter, you thought the Bills are going to somehow come back and pull it off, and ruin the Jaguars' day. But that game against The Cowboys played against the Broncos. They got murked. They got stomped. They got punked. They got exterminated. They got beat down in all phases of the game. And it was shutout ball to the fourth quarter until the Cowboys, which, did what we call empty calorie yards, empty calorie points to prevent something that was going to be a complete embarrassment. Still an embarrassment by what they won by. So take that. And then a week later, Rob, they come back and they beat a Falcons team whose record is very, very deceptive, man. The Falcons are there at the end. The Falcons can you want to do a shootout with this team. They're always down for a shootout. Even with Calvin Ridley walking away, they still have some weapons. And you knew Dallas is going to win because the Falcons lost some weapons. But no one was thinking 43-3. Let me double check that score. See if they scored some empty calorie yards at the end.
47-3.
It was... Man, it was bad, dude. It was, where are we? Bills beat the Jets 45-17. And that was the other thing I wanted to say about the Jets. Like, okay, here it is. 43-3. 43-3.
43-3. 47.
I mean, what are we more impressed with? Are we more impressed with Dak Prescott being the consummate leader that he's supposed to be? Are we more impressed with like Zeke getting the end zone like he's supposed to be? Are we more impressed with this core of wide receivers that just ooze confidence, the front lines blocking? Or are we more impressed with this defense that's just hitting its stride, led again by that other Diggs? Okay, both teams got a Diggs, and I pick any of them twice, any of them on offense and defense any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But because of the quality of the loss, the severity of the loss, and because of the quality of the win, got to go Cowboys. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man, we're going to talk about a lot more NFL. We're just trying to move this along, but because we want to talk about Cam, we want to talk about a lot of things. But I will finish by saying, Buffalo. Me picking the Buffalo beating the Jets. Oh, Captain Obvious. Boy, did I go out on a limb on that one. So no, got to be the Cowboys on this one. Oh man, to spit and swallow, or spit. Talking about them. All right. Topic 2, we go to our NFL pick 6. Last week, Rob, we in a challenger beat the host or compete against the host, my man Chris Brown. Chris Brown, now who you think he is? Chris Brown is the founder of a barbershop called the Fade Society. He's in LA, and I asked my friend, I'm like, do you know someone that cuts black hair? Right? And he's like, yeah, I know someone that cuts like hair of color. And I was like, I didn't say hair of color. I said black hair. Do you know someone that cuts black hair? So, Fade Society, Chris Brown battled the host this week, and we definitely want barbershop people doing this because those are the best debates. So, Chris Brown was 3-2, and there was a tie because we. The Lions and Steelers. So now we got a tie on our overall record. Right? I really didn't want one. Crazy. So Chris Brown was 3-2-1. Rob, you were 2-3-1, and yours truly, I was 4-1-1. So that makes the overall scores. I'm 31-22 and 1. You are 27-26 and 1. And our guests who've been battling us are killing us right now. They are 35-18. And 1. So, Rob, let's move to our pick 6 for week 11. All right, week 11. Let's start our pick 6 with the Ravens visiting the Chicago Bears.
Man, the Ravens just not making anybody feel safe right now. But I got to go with the Ravens one last time. We'll see if they can pick up their slack. But man, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully no Khalil Mack this week.
Well, I picked the Ravens because they're very, very good against mobile quarterbacks. I mean, they're practiced against one, for Christ's sakes. And you keep this guy in the box, the rookie in the box, and it's going to be a bad day for the Bears. I got Ravens. Game 2, I'm going to go first on this one. Saints visiting the Eagles. Oh, when the Saints come marching in. Oh, when the Saints come. Nope, Eagles. Got to go Eagles, and they're gonna make no one's gonna make Jalen Hurts on this one. Okay, Jalen is going to do his thing and bring the pain. I got Eagles.
See, every time I think the Eagles have a bad week, the next week they come through with a really good win. And I think that's just great coaching. I think they're still trying to figure it out on the offensive end, but their defense is, top flight. Um, they got a great pass rush. But I think they just lost a big one of the big guys in their line, and so I'm gonna probably have to go with the Eagles on this one as well.
Cool. All right, let's go to game three. Game three, we have the Washington football team. I can't believe I've actually officially gotten used to calling it that. The Washington football team visiting the Carolina Panthers. Bobby McGee, who you got?
Carolina coming through. We got Christian McCaffrey back. You got Cam Newton there if you need him. You got PJ Walker playing well, and you got Chase Young out for the year. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers on this one.
I think I'm going to go with Panthers. It's a rematch between old coach and old player Ron Rivera, who's the head coach of the Washington football team. Cam Newton's back. There's very, very little doubt in my mind that at this point they're going to give him the start. It looked like they eased him in, but there is that the man has superpowers in Carolina, and they love him there, and he's got that big smile on his face that we're all used to seeing, and I think he's going to lay back, have a Heineke, and win this game.
They had Cam for 10 years there, and they drafted, Christian McCaffrey in the idea not of using him with Cam Newton, but if you have a quarterback there for 10 years, like that's kind of the system you're going to use, or that's the idea, that the identity you have in that building. So I think just coming back and having Cam being an option to run, read options with some Christian McCaffrey, you can dump it off to him, makes it really easy on him. He's still a mobile quarterback. I think it's a perfect situation. And yeah, I think this is going to be really good going forward. And I think it's exactly what the Panthers needed. Why this took so long, I don't know.
For a whole bunch of teams, right? And I mean,
not
he
even
could have
that,
been an
but
ideal land for a lot of teams.
I know it's there's some sour, some bad blood there from how it ended, but this guy's an MVP caliber. He played that way 1 year before the Patriots. He got hurt. He had COVID, all that business, and that's not really a system for him. You play that system. He could be good in that. Why don't you bring him on a veteran deal, a small deal, just to back up Sam Darnold? Just to back up your investment. I don't get why this didn't happen earlier. Is what I mean. To have PJ Walker, to have Sam Darnold there, it doesn't make sense to not have a veteran there that actually can, bring your team to easy wins.
I mean, I didn't get why Ron Rivera didn't give him a call. They had a little quarterback situation there too, and I mean,
I hear you.
So all right, we got game 4. We have the Cards visiting the Seahawks. The real question is, I mean, we're going to find out. I mean, our audience is going to find out by the time this episode comes out. What's Kyler Murray's situation? Now, does it
DeAndre?
And at this point, are the Seahawks so dysfunctional? Does it matter? If Kyler plays or not? Because it's Colt McCoy going to the 12 and beat the Seahawks. Who you got?
I'm gonna probably say that the Cardinals are going to win this game. I think they're really going to focus down on their defense, work through their run game, and try to find another fold to their offense. I love what the Seahawks could be, but I just don't see it because of their defense this year. It has really nothing to do with their offense. A lot of it is their offensive line. I get it, but their defense is just so subpar, and it's so disappointing to see from a Pete Carroll team. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to go just Cardinals on this one.
Yeah, but the disappointment definitely lies with Pete Carroll and lies with that coaching staff. Are they trying to get my favorite quarterback killed? All right, this man has already taken his lumps, and he's already found ways to run out of bounds his whole career and throw defenses fits without sustaining any damage. But the last 2 years, I'm telling you, this dude's been getting pieced up, man. And I don't like what I see, and I don't think I'm going to like what I see this Sunday. I'm going Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks because I think that's a tough place to play, even with Kyler Murray and D-Hop playing. And Jamal Adams, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't like to eat the hot L's. I think it's going to be a good comeback game. I'll go with the Hawks. Game 5, I'll go first on this one. The Steelers visiting the Chargers. I mean, how the hell am I supposed to pick a team that was found a way to tie the hapless Lions? I like Ben Roethlisberger, and I don't know what Claypool's situation is, and at this point, I don't care. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Chargers on this real quick because I don't know what TJ Watt's situation is. That's more of an issue for me. Um, yeah, man. So I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers on this one. I don't know what's up with them. I don't think they're gonna win too many more games this season, but I think this is a game they're gonna win.
Yeah. Yep. So you got Chargers, you said?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So the last one, and too bad I'm not going to be around for this. I'm going to be coaching over this weekend, and I'm going to find out probably when it's over. The Dallas Cowboys visiting the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh.
Dun, 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 dun dirt chief. Dirty deeds. The dun dirt chief.
So I would have to say, and again, now I forget who the Chiefs just played this last week, but
Don't matter none.
I'm gonna, yeah, if you don't mind, but I think it's gonna be the Chiefs. First of all, Super Bowl caliber team with their coaching staff, gonna have them ready to play. Secondly, yeah, I mean, if Patrick Mahomes plays like he did last week, that's going to win them any game. I mean, that was MVP caliber. That's all he has to do. And he really didn't do much. You know, he let the team do what he needed to do. That was just unbelievable football. You know, totally different type of player.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I really do think that the defense is going to be the difference maker. And the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs, as bad as they've been, are going to get to the quarterback. And that's really all that matters. It's really about what teams are built around certain aspects. And I'm scared for Dak Prescott. I don't want him to get hit again. You know, if he gets hit again, that's problems. And again, it's football. You know, he run it in, he's fine. But it's, you know, in the pocket, things happen, knees, ankles. So I'm wishing him well. I just think they're going to get to him a lot on the pass rush. So I'm going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs on this one, and we're going to see what happens.
There's not a bigger game that the Chiefs are just literally going to be 100% up for. This is an afternoon game, all right? Dallas Cowboys visiting the Chiefs. Chiefs at home, tough place to win at home. You know, not a whole lot of teams beat them. My Buffalo Bills did, but I thought the Buffalo Bills caught them at the right time, and the Chiefs showed that they can give up a lot of points if you allow them. You know, I mean, if Stephon Diggs did that to the Chiefs, I can't even fathom what the Cowboys are going to do. With that being said, I trust the Cowboys less because even though the Denver game was an aberration, they can show when the wheels come off it's a bad thing. And if Denver did that to them with Bridgewater, I can't even imagine Holmes, who's finally hitting his stride, is going to do. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and I think Holmes is going to refuse Patrick Holmes is going to refuse to lose it. Mahomes, is going to refuse to lose at the end. So I got Chiefs. You said Chiefs too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. We got a one thing.
I thought you were going to be a Cowboy man this time. Come on now.
I was. Listen, if they beaten Denver, and even if they edged Denver, I would have picked the Cowboys. I just think right now that they're a snowball going down the hill, and they play really, really good on the road. I mean, I don't have their road record in front of me, but they play the same at home as they play on the road. When they play well at home, it's like a big party, and you know their nauseating, annoying fan base is gonna be like, this team's going all the way to the Super Bowl, you know, and I really hate that the Packers are in that conversation, and everyone's saying, oh, you're being dismissive of the Rams, and no one's talking about the Cardinals. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyler Murray in an NFC Championship game situation. I don't even think the Cowboys are going to make the NFC Championship game. That's I think people are getting carried away. I think you got three really good teams that are going to be playoff ready, and like you said, well, how's Prescott going to be? You know. Is Zeke going to be on Cabo Zeke? You know, I don't know. They're just better. Their defense is significantly better, and they're worth watching this weekend. Too bad I'm gonna miss that until the end.
I'm gonna say though, I really do think that Dallas has, if Dallas has a really good, solid game plan, they could easily win this game.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Kansas City's too good for anybody.
Right.
As it's proved by the record. But I think it's more that Dallas is just going to kind of either get ahead of themselves, they get behind. If they get ahead, they're not really going to be able to use their run game to get ahead. You'll be able to stack back on defense. You'll be able to get to the passer a bit more. That's what I mean. Is they might have dimensions as an offense, but it doesn't really flow together. And when it does, it's great, but it's kind of got to click at the right time, I feel like, So that's when there's these big blowout games. Yeah, sure, they can get 40 points when everything's going well, but when everything's not going well, how do they, manufacture 35 points to win a game? You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference between a Tom Brady offense, which isn't going great right now. But again, as long as Tom's not getting hit, it's okay. But manufacturing points as opposed to giving, being given points. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, very good. And that's our pick 6, man. Great conversation on that. We move on to our other favorite topic, mixed martial arts. Between the way we talk about football and mixed martial arts, Meryl Streep out there is pissed. Well, tough shit. We move on to mixed martial arts. Congratulations to Max Holloway, another Fight of the Year candidate. It seems like every weekend we watch the UFC, there's a Fight of the Year candidate. There was Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan. Thug Rose the same night that against Zylia, and the same night Gaethje and Chandler fought was definitely the best round of the year. If not, that's not the best fight. Not to mention the main event. That wasn't disappointing. Watching Kobe come back, like the first 2 rounds, it looked like Kamaru stole his soul, and it looked like the end was near. And that dude, don't like him very much, but I don't like his style that much. But they showed the world they're 1-1A, right, in the welterweight division. They're 1-1A.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
I say 1A because if Kamaru's not there, Kobe's the champ.
Yeah, I mean, again, we haven't seen Kobe against some of these monsters, man. So let's see Kobe and Leon Edwards. Let's see some of these fights that Kamaru had to take all the way through.
Leon's got to be next, right?
He has to be. Well,
he fights.
If he's not next for the title fight,
Masvidal got scrapped.
Masvidal got scrapped, and they're talking about Khamzat could step in. They're trying to do Khamzat Burns right now. So I do think it's the right choice. I don't think Kobe's like available right now for that fight, but yeah, it's pretty shit. I mean, excuse my language, but it's pretty crap for Leon, because there's nobody really up there that's really ready for that fight that would propel him to a title fight. I feel like.
I think because Masvidal pulled out, and if Kamaru wants to fight, Kamaru's got to fight him. I think my conspiracy is Masvidal pulled out because the bigger money fight, because he has a small rivalry with Kobe Covington, all of a sudden he gets better, when Leon has another fight and Kobe has no one to fight. He can't fight the champ, right? That's what I think is going to be the next money fight by Super Bowl weekend. I think that's where my conspiracy-laden mind goes. But our subject matter, Rob, is going to be the question this week is, who are your top 5 female MMA greatest of all time fighters? Rob, I'd like to go first on this one, because this way you get to talk second and you back clean up on this. All right, I'm gonna do the Willie Randolph to Mickey Rivers to Willie Randolph to Greg Nettles. You're gonna be the Reggie Jackson. All right, you're gonna have your own candy bar. All right, so my top 5 female fighters of all time. I'm going to start with number 5. Number 5, Germaine de Randamie. Germaine de Randamie is the Iron Lady, a true warrior. Oh my goodness, her hand speed is magnificent. Submitted Julia Pena. Beat Holly Holm, although controversially, in Brooklyn to secure the women's featherweight title, the first featherweight champion for the UFC. And though she forfeited the belt because she didn't want to fight Cyborg, she still makes my top 5. Number 4. My number 4 is the person that she refused to fight, Chris. Cyborg. Chris Cyborg, listen, you can't be mad at Duran Deming, okay? Duran Deming is a long list of girls that do not want to fight this woman. This woman, they say, is past her prime and is still murking the competition and is now the featherweight champion at Bellator, was the featherweight champion at the UFC, was the featherweight champion for Strikeforce. An amazing match from Gina Carano all the way up to the end, and she's just been, it's all been about her except for one fight, which leads me to my number 3. We got Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey. Why? Ronda Rousey has not only cemented the legacy mixed martial arts in the UFC, and when you do it in the UFC, you do it everywhere. And now mixed martial arts is on the map, and now women's MMA matches are main events on these giant cards. Right? Like this weekend alone, you got Miesha Tate fighting. God, I wish I can get her name. Caitlin Vera. Caitlin Vera is a pretty, it's going to be a grappling match. But my point is, Ronda Rousey, a lot of people are down on her because they didn't like her attitude, and then she got upset by Holm, and then she got murked by Amanda Nunes. You take those 2 fights away, she has a 100% finish rate against Sarah McMahon, against Kat Zingano, against Betchko Hader. So she deserves to be in this top 5 for shaping women's MMA what it is, and not only that, performing when she needed to perform. Which leads me to my number 2. And we kind of know I think our number 2 and number 1 are going to kind of be the same. This is Valentina Shevchenko. That is a hottie. I don't care. She has dorky dance moves. She's so awesome. She makes dorky dance moves look good. All right. She's beaten Holly Holm. She's beaten Juliana Pena. She's beaten Juliana Pena. She has beaten everyone except Amanda Nunes. And that last fight was a split decision in five rounds. And you and me are licking our chops because we know a third match is inevitable between the 2 of them. And who do I mean by them? I mean my number 1 fighter. As far as GOATs are concerned, let's talk about her. Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes has lost what seemed like a lifetime ago against Kat Zingano. And since then, she figured out some things where she was good to great, and she's great to elite to the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Finish Holly Holm? No problem. Bam. Face Cyborg, no one wants to fight her. Face plant Cyborg. Ronda Rousey, oh, you want to promote Ronda Rousey and don't even mention my name? I'm supposed to be the champ? Bam. Miesha Tate is the champ? That's who I got to take the title from? Bam. So my greatest of all time, this woman, 2-division champion, the Lioness, and a great example for kids everywhere, great example of just sportsmanship and goodness and a promotion machine, Amanda Nunes. Bobby McGee. From 5 to 1, who you got?
Well, it's kind of tough because my 5 is my most controversial. I have Miesha Tate because, I feel like she's a foundational part of the UFC, of mixed martial arts. She took a lot of fights, a lot of tough fights. Just when the sport's kind of building and kind of setting the stage even for Ronda Rousey and for these other fighters to kind of make it explode at that level. So
yeah, has she fought them all, huh?
like one of the first big time high level journeymen, I would say, of the sport. And there's a couple names like that. Kat Zingano's another one. Holly Holm's another one. I think Rose Namajunas is definitely putting her name up in this category as well. So I think number 5 is kind of just that open-ended spot where it can kind of be for anybody, but I chose to put it for more of a foundational part of the UFC history. So
that's a good number 5.
That'll be my number 5. My number 4 is Chris Cyborg, I believe. No, Ronda Rousey, I believe. Ronda Rousey, Chris Cyborg. I mean, either one of those 3, 4 is my kind of thing. I think for Ronda, she just put just kind of like a Conor McGregor, even put MMA at her level on the map. And honestly, she probably would be top, greatest of all time, or maybe 1, 2, 3, if she was not coached by who she was coached by. If she, I'm not kidding. If she literally did not throw a punch her whole UFC career and did a what's his name?
The armbar. Yep.
And she just did a Damian Maia her whole career, she probably would have been the greatest of all time because nobody knew how to stop it. They didn't know how to stop her takedown. They didn't know how to stop clinch and then takedown. And then once it was on the ground, she was literally immediately. I've never seen anybody like that. I've never seen anybody go for an armbar that quick and end fights with an instant because they didn't have the strength, dexterity, anything to defend against that. I mean, that looked like the Gracies from back from UFC one, like
Dude, no
fighting
doubt.
against absolute novice on the ground. So it really saddens me that she didn't that she didn't fight the way that she started fighting in the UFC, because she didn't take a lot of damage from those fights, but she took a lot of damage when she stood up. And I think that should be the key to fighting, and that's why again she's not on the top, because she's an absolute understood part of how great you could easily be diminished if you don't have all aspects of the game, but also don't get hit. That's fighting. Fighting is not putting damage down. It's about don't get hit and push your opponent away. That's it. If it's armbar, do that. If it's you have unbelievable power or you have great kicks, do that. But use what you have. Don't be trained by other people to tell you you need to do something different. So that's why Ronda Rousey really is up there. She should honestly be number 3.
That's your number 4. But who's your number 3, Bobby?
My number 3 is Chris Cyborg. Because if you look at this isn't who does the most, who's the most controversial, who's this and that. She could have been fighting against people that did the same thing. It's the same thing about baseball in the 80s, with the steroids thing. Now that you come into UFC, I get that you're trying, that people want to keep it at a certain standard. So that's fine. But, she's also coming in at age 35, 36, fighting against 24, 25, 26 players. I'm not saying that you should use steroids, but I'm saying back in the day, if that's how the game was played, that's how the game was played. And MMA was a whole different aspect 10 years ago as opposed to 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Especially 20 years ago in the women's side of the game. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to hold anything against anybody. Now that we have standards, we have, actual places to go to,
and she's
to
performed
train
since.
and to,
Yeah.
and there's professional atmosphere. Yes, professionalism is necessary. So I'd say for her body of work that she's had to fight through, she absolutely deserves to be top 3 at the very least. And I think the only reason the top 2 are beating her is because the modern game is becoming so evolved, and they're still at the top of that game. So that's the only reason I'd have to say that Valentina and Nunez at the top of the game. And honestly, I'm just being respectful, saying Nunez is the 1 and Shevchenko is the 2. But if you change those fights against one another, I still think that either their body of work could be the 1 or the 2. I think it's 1 and 1A in this aspect, as opposed to what we were talking about before, Kobe and Kamaru, because they had to change weight classes, because I honestly believe they had a draw or 2 in one of their fights. I don't believe that Nunez won all their fights. I feel like that's a better way to at least satisfy both the fighters, to satisfy the actual fight cards. You don't have to pick a winner. Even in a tight fight in a title match, you don't have to let Nunez keep the title, but I don't think those fights were deserved of a winner or of a loss on either of their record, on either of their records. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And
they dominated their competition. What came down to them two, I think it should be more of a draw based finish if they can't finish each other, and keep their respect with their records. I mean that means a lot to a lot of these fighters. Doesn't have to be, but I think it's kind of sad that you put it into the hands of the judges, and it turns out to kind of change what they can make financially. It's different, but at the end of the day, you have to give Valentina, Nunez her respect, and she's the champ, she's the GOAT. That's it.
I have her as 1 because every single person that you could make an argument from, timing's everything. She had the opportunity to fight them head to head, right? And Shevchenko, you're right. The real winners were the fans watching those fights. And as far as leaving it in the hands of the judges, the first fight, I gotta defend Shevchenko a little bit. I think Amanda tired out. That was a 3-round fight, the first one. And Amanda tired out that last round, and Valentina was trying to go for a finish, and then Amanda already knew she won the first 2, I think maybe second one was tight, and that's what gave her the decision. But that 5-round fight, man, That's a good fight, man. I mean,
It's a good
from the
fight.
MMA purists to the casuals who like to see rock'em sock'em robots, there was strategy, there was technique, there was power, there was level changes. Good fight, man. I hope to see it one more time, man. Yep, and
I agree.
that's our top five. And the
More
good,
than one, more
yep,
than one more time. Come on now.
yeah, yeah, because they still got a lot of gas left in their tank,
They
right? I
got a
mean,
lot of gas in that tank.
so I like that, and I like that you said that how easily Cyborg could be two on that list. Because of her body of work and because what she did in her prime and what she's continuing to do. I think health wise, she looks healthier, right? Like, do you remember how bad it looked watching that woman trying to cut weight? And now she's at the weigh-in. She looks a little bit more. I mean, no one looks happy at the weigh-ins. They're just miserable people from having to cut the weight. But she doesn't look drawn and sucked dry. She looks healthier. So whatever she's doing, Jason Perot is her striking coach, but whoever's in charge of that nutrition part, good for her. And I hope to see more of her on Bellator and more of the top two maybe playing each other. All right. But hey,
Yeah.
got another thing coming. We got topic number 4. My personal favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you to shame or not to shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Okay, Robbie. Let's see. We got to shame or not to shame. Let's figure this out. And that. Hey, there you go. So, Rob, to shame or not to shame, the Rams got absolutely destroyed by the 49ers on all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. So, Rob, my question is, this loss for the Rams, would you say shame on Stafford or would you say shame on the coaching strategy? The floor is yours, my man.
I would have to say shame on the coaching strategy. I mean, Stafford had his 2 interceptions that really didn't have to be. But I just don't think that they switched up the game plan for what was happening defensively as well. I thought they didn't do a great job of stopping the run. I mean, everybody could see that. But they really didn't change it up to, stop that, plug the run and make sure they threw the ball to beat them. So I have to say the Rams. The Rams coaching is definitely the reason.
I like that. And I like how you did that because I kind of got to go with you on that. Actually, let's stop this clock for a sec. Let's go back. And for me, I got to go with the Rams on this one. You go to you look at Stafford, and Woods is hurt. Woods is like one of his important wideouts. Though Cooper Kupp is actually putting up astronomical numbers. He's got a new wide receiver in OBJ, right? He's got a new, I think someone in the front 5. There was a last minute substitution too. Not to mention that the throws he was making, he was hitting wide receivers right in between the numbers, and they're dropping very important key third down and second and long passes to make life easier for him. He did hold on to the ball a little bit, though. People saying they didn't provide him protection, but in their defense, he did hold on to the ball longer than he should have. But if you're a professional, all right, and you're saying, oh, he threw behind the receiver a little bit. For me, I say, okay. If I'm that wide receiver, he threw behind me. I'm supposed to drop that because I am not a professional. All right. I am not paid paid to do that job. And these guys are not paid to do what we're doing, Rob. Okay. It's not like these guys are waiting tables at night, you know what I'm saying, or bartending and they're moonlighting football. Some of these throws are going to be more difficult to catch, and they got to catch those balls. All right. And some were thrown right here, breadbasket throws. So shame on the coaching strategy, because that doesn't explain the 31 points that the 49ers put up. Debo Samuel murdered them. Speaking of wide receivers putting up fantasy points, huh? Between him and Cooper Kupp, man, it's been a good year. Right? Anything you would like to add to that?
And Robert Woods, he's out with the ACL. He's done for the year, but he's had a great year. And once they work in Odell, I mean, that's going to be crazy. Just let him run the X. Just let him go down the field. Let him run short over routes. I mean, they could really utilize him. I think it's going to be a great pickup for him, for that team. They got Odell, they got Vaughn, they got Aaron Donald. I don't know what's up with Aaron Donald this year, but I think if they get those edge rushers going, it's really going to open them up, and it's going to change the game for them. So
Yeah. Well, Aaron Donald had
good year.
the same problem Michael Strahan did. They're paying attention to him.
Right.
I think his
Right.
aggressiveness is still there, but productivity is going to go down if everyone's paying special attention to you. So
Double team every time.
yes. So
Run
topic,
play, pass play,
right?
every time.
So
Crazy.
topic 5, because I happen to be an exceptional singer, but I lack the ability to sing for our next topic. Someone has actually given me an instrumental, so we bring you quick question. That's better. Actually, you like that? I like that. Pretty
I
cool.
like that.
All right, Rob, quick question. Tampa Bay drops to Washington. Big deal or no big deal?
I mean, I think it is a big deal. I do think it's a big deal because Tom Brady throwing 2 interceptions. I mean, it's not really like that pass rush is getting to other teams. So I think that's a big deal.
I say no big deal. I mean, they got some key injuries, and when people come back, and if they start losing these games to Washington type teams, then that'll be a big deal. But until then, no big deal. I think when the playoffs come, they'll be ready. They're going to take that. Look, Carolina's good, but they're going to take that division. And as long as they take that division, they're good. They're road warriors. They don't even care where they play. Their goal is to win another Super Bowl, and this team is equipped for that. Glad that he called out his team though, and I'm glad that they took it like men instead of a bunch of sensitive little girls. With apologies to little girls. Quick question: Cam Newton returning to Carolina and winning, big deal? Big deal or no big deal?
Huge deal. I think that's going to change that whole team. Everybody got better around him, and that team is very talented. As we saw how they started that 3-0 start. I don't think it had anything to do with Sam Darnold. As we can see, I think it's just they have really good talent on that team. They didn't even have Christian McCaffrey at that time. We got, they got energy in the building now. So I think it's good things, real good things.
Nice. I agree. Big deal. A season-changing deal. Sam Darnold looked like the answer in the beginning, but not so much now. Can never trust a USC quarterback. Quick question: Who is the one team that you do not want your favorite team to play next week?
Oh, I mean, I don't want anybody to play the Chiefs or the Cowboys. So it's funny they playing each other.
I don't want anyone playing the Chiefs. That's what I say. I do not want the Bills playing the Chiefs. The Bills are my favorite team. I don't want them playing the Chiefs. I don't want them.
That's because you got to play them twice a year. So
I mean, you're gonna get pieced up, dude. Yeah. No, actually, for me, it wasn't the Chiefs. It was the Patriots. I don't want my team playing the Patriots next week. They're on a freaking roll right now, dude. 45-7. Nice. How about that? I mean, we had a conversation about bounce back games, huh? I'm a believer now. I'm a believer. I always said no because I never believed the AFC was ever going to have, the next decade was ever going to send 2 teams to the playoffs. And here we are, 2 teams that are playoff worthy. And a team right now, if they played the Buffalo Bills next week, man, they could very well win that and own the tiebreaker. Quick question, Rob. Who gets further in their season/postseason, the Patriots or the Bucks? So let's say both teams get into the playoffs. Who gets further?
I think the Bucks are built for it. So if they make it to the playoffs, which they're gonna do it, I think they're built for it better. I think the Bucks are gonna go further. I don't think that Mac Jones and the defense and offense are going to play at this high a level into the playoffs against higher competition each week. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be the Bucks. That's going to be my choice.
There is no script, Rob McLean, for Bill Belichick getting his Patriots to play his former quarterback in the Super Bowl. There is no script. No one will accept that script. They'll be like, throw it out because that's not real. So now we already concede that both teams aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl. I got to pick the team that I think is going to make it to the Super Bowl. I'll go Bucks. Quick question, Rob. Are the Lakers better than we think? Things are not what they seem, or are they in big trouble? They got murked by the Bulls last night.
Yeah.
Are they in big trouble or
I think they are in big trouble because the characters that are there are not leaders. You got Westbrook, you got Dwight Howard, you got Anthony Davis, you got LeBron James. And they're all these big guys, and that used to be able to happen. They used to be okay when LeBron was that guy, and he could just say, "Hey, give me the ball, shut your mouth, I'm gonna win this game." But he can't do that no more. Whether it's him being hurt and injured, or it's him being not able to actually skillfully do that because he's tired or he just isn't in that flow and that rhythm. I mean, it happens. This happens over time.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is not that guy. I don't care what you say. He's got too much in his head going on. There's too much shine. There's too much of this maybe injury stuff. Am I playing the five? Joking around with all these guys, button heads with Dwight Howard. Like, it's just too much stuff going on.
Childish.
To talk about leadership.
Childish nonsense. Isn't that childish, dude?
If I can talk about all that, there's no way that he's putting in that. I mean, I'm sure he could be, but there's no way he's putting in 100% of his effort to get his teammates better, to talk to the young guys, to improve his teammates around him. Like, sure, he's doing 70%, but is 70% going to win a championship? You know what I mean? So I think it's a really big issue. I don't think LeBron has what he needs to win a championship, which are shooters. Westbrook is not a shooter. Anthony Davis is not a shooter. Dwight, let's not even talk about that. And then all the no names, the guys that they bring in, the guys that are supposed to contribute, they are the shooters. That's not how you win a championship. So in my eyes, I think it's big trouble. And I think LeBron he might not get another championship, and he may not get to the finals ever again.
Hey, the West is wild, and the Golden State Warriors are back. So those are two really good reasons
Clay.
to support your argument.
They back without Clay.
Yeah, well, I say not in big trouble because I think they'll have enough to get to the playoffs. And at the end of the day, LeBron saves all. Want to highlight footnote? DeMar DeRozan, man, is doing some really good things with the Chicago Bulls. I'm looking at his stats right now: 38 points off of 15 or 23 shooting. This dude, Lonzo Ball, found him a new home with Chicago, 10 of 13 shooting, 8 assists, 27 points. So look out for the new look Bulls. Yeah. So how are my Knicks
Bulls
doing? Maybe we'll talk about that later. It wasn't on one of our things. Okay, we'll figure that out. Quick question. Does Cam start against Washington this week? All right. I say yes.
I say no. I mean, honestly, because PJ Walker looked good. Walker looked good. He's been in the system a little longer. Let's see if he can do something with all this energy, all this new thing. Mm-hmm. And let's keep Cam on the bench and, work him in a little more.
Nice. Quick question. We got a double main event. Caitlin Vera against Miesha Tate. Who you got? Caitlin Vera is fucking sharp, dude.
I was gonna say I want to say Miesha Tate, but the older they get, it's kind of hard to deny this young talent. So I'm gonna have to go against Tate on this one. I'm gonna go with Vera.
Changing of the guard, huh? If you will, right?
Yes,
sooner or later, got to pass the torch, and I thought Miesha Tate was gonna do that a long time ago, and yet here
she said no.
And here she is, right, ready to fight Caitlin Vera, man, this absolute stud. So I got to go Miesha on this because Miesha right now has a little bit of cyborg in her. She's back and she's healthy, and everybody's like, I don't have a lot of new tape on this girl. I don't want to fight this girl right now, so I got to go Tate. Second main event, let's go Micah Chiesa against Sean Brady. Sean Brady's undefeated. I think he's 14-0 or something.
I haven't seen Sean Brady fight, to be honest.
Okay.
So it's going to have to be you on this one, but I like Chiesa because I think he fights to his strengths. At this weight class, he fights to his strengths, which is getting people on the ground, clench, and, fighting. And he fights a good fight. He fights a smart fight. So if Brady is a little brazen and tries to be a little, knockout heavy or isn't trying to fight smart to get that knockout, I definitely feel like Chiesa can come up with a finish. So
I like Michael Chiesa's style. I like his style because he's a wrestler that has some power, but doesn't fall in love with his hands. Like he scored a couple of knockdowns here and there. And the thing I like about him is as soon as he gets into the clinch, he's not doing something that some fans might consider boring, like just against the cage, where I see activity against the cage, but a lot of fans don't. He gets you against the cage, he's going to get a takedown. If he gets a takedown, he's going to get a submission. There's no lay and pray with this guy. And this is what makes people love mixed martial arts. You have wrestlers like him out there that are not just trying to, grind out a win. He's out there trying to finish every single time. And I don't have his win-loss record in front of me, but wins by submission. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dirty Jesus have, a whole bunch of wins by submission, and I think he wins this one by submission. I think Sean Brady, who I have seen fight, and it's a tough guy to pick against, man. This dude's on his way up. Talk about passing the torch. But, he's going to have to take his first hot L at the hands of Michael Chiesa. And an event that's flying under the radar, Rob. It's flying under the radar. 2 more quick questions. Will OBJ win the title with the Rams? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say yes, because if he's ever gonna win a title, it'll be with them.
No. Quick question. Will Westbrook win one with the Lakers? I'll go first on this one. No, because I don't think LeBron James is going to win one, and he's not going to win. I think LeBron James is done as far as championships are concerned. It's just right now the Warriors are healthy. They have too many more years. I don't know if Draymond Green started eating a salad, but he looks in shape too. So yeah,
and the Lakers didn't even play the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a whole nother beast you got to go through eventually.
To win the ring,
that's
to win the chips.
Yeah, that's a whole squad. I'm not even saying that's like a tough. That's a 7-game series. I don't care who you playing.
Yeah,
that's a 7-game series.
The Bucks are my pick to win again. Honestly, this guy, I love Greek Freak. He says, "Look, I'm proud to be part of a team where we didn't have to crew up." And we did it, we did it kind of our way. Some people consider it the right way. The guy's just trying to find ways to win. And he tried to find his role in it too, right? Because when someone says like, you're the star, and you're young like that, they always think you have to do more. And we've seen a lot of people lose rings trying to do more than what they're already good at. How about just do what you're already good at? He
almost did less.
Yeah.
He almost did less.
Except that last game, that boy finished 50. He put a 50 burger up, huh? Sorry.
Well, but the thing is, he played each game to what he needs to do, and I think that's really what a star is about. That's what LeBron did too, but he did it in his fashion every way. Yep. I think it's he always had a double. He had a double. He at least had 3 blocks a game. Game-changing blocks. 3 or 4 times, each series, it's like something where it's going to, change that game. He played the way he's supposed to. He let Chris Middleton take the ball up and play offensive, completely control the offense. And that's what they needed. They needed somebody to step up and be the offensive mastermind while he's able to be the transition, the offensive. He got how many offensive rebounds? Just dominate around the rim, and they honestly stopped feeding him the ball because he would get the rebound anyway. It was just great to watch, and I think it is great to see Milwaukee win like that because Giannis gets to be a max player. You don't get to have better talent around you if you got 2 or 3 max players around you. If you have one max guy, you're going to be able to have Brook Lopez. You're going to be able to have Chris Middleton. You're going to be able to have, lineups of people who are going to be able to go against the other team. So if you have a great coach, it's possible. So I'm glad too. Small market team winning a championship, that's really big for the NBA.
Yeah. And to see if they can do it twice might be interesting, right? Yeah.
It'd be great.
All right, so that's the end of quick question. But before we go, a subject matter I didn't really want to touch on because I think we can wrap this up under 56 minutes, and we're right there. So, Rob, before we go, there's still been some talk on Volley Talk and some circulation about eliminating the rule called a double contact on volleyball. Hit on 2, you're not allowed to take the ball in one hand and out of the other when you're setting. So, For me, if they get rid of that rule, I think it hurts the sport. So before I go, I want to say they've already done enough to hurt the sport for under the rationalization of, oh, it's fun and it speeds up the game. It doesn't speed up the game. It's not fun to watch. It's pure sloppiness. All right, and for you guys on the beach too, who are catching a ball and throwing it to avoid a double hit because you think a double hit is only determined by spin, it's a fucking carry. All right, it's a carry and a double hit. Learn your rules. It's not how it comes in; it's how it comes out. So, and people wonder why they don't respect our sport. I'm looking for volleyball on ESPN. I see cornhole. All right, I see World Series of Poker. Dude, I see horse. So, yeah. So sometimes let the sport have some rules. Basketball, you can't just dribble the ball, catch it, walk with it, and dribble again, unless you're LeBron James, right? Baseball, to run the first base, you can't run to avoid the tag. You can't run out of the baseline or run around the field and say you can't catch me, because there are rules. There are rules that make it traditional. There are rules where people where it generates interest, because with those rules, you need a specific skill set to play the game. And we don't want volleyball to look like a sport where it requires no fucking skill set to play the game. And that's all I wanted to say on before here we go. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, Rob?
I think, the topic always comes up. And I think the issue is that not only is there many rules on the issue, of a double contact, but nobody defines it. California has their own rule book on doubles.
CBVA, yeah.
FIVB has their own rule, and then AVP has their own rule, and then Texas has their own rule, and New York has their own rule, because it's all it's all hearsay. There's not one ruling on it, and even the ruling of the AVP and the FIVB, let's say the two bigger things for us, are very vague. It's not a it's the way the ball comes in. It's a judgmental call. It's not a technical rule book definition. And I feel like if they made it more of a technical rule book definition, it would be easier. Where when your hands are above your head, there's a little bit more leniency of being able to hold the ball. But as soon as it crosses your head, you can't hold the ball for a long time. It has to come out in a quick motion.
Right.
That's simple stuff that you can write down. That's very clear, that's
fluidity, right? No discontinue.
Yes, because that's one motion, motion. If it's two motions, it's a catch and a lift. And I think that's very simple to have, that's one motion. Yeah, you have a little bit of leeway between how high above your forehead you hold it. And everybody has a forehead. Everybody, it's very easy to determine that. Okay, it's at the forehead, a little bit lower, it's got to come out quick. A little bit higher, it can go a little bit longer. It's that simple, I think.
Definitely.
And the fact that that's not, an easy write down the rule book. Okay, this is what it is. Everybody's got the rule. Let's do it.
Or a universal guideline. Right? Look, you just said something.
Come on, man.
You just said something really smart. As far as hands go, check with the league you play in. It's their league, their rules. They get to do whatever they want. Okay, I get that. But the reason why I said it's how it comes in, because the FIVB refs, they determine that, because they will blow the whistle before they even see how the ball comes out. They're looking at how it comes in. The second thing, the reasoning behind that is the catch and throw guys can literally double hit a ball and it still comes out rotationless. You've seen Phil do it. You've seen Phil have the ball come in his left, out of his right, and up, and it doesn't spin. But under the FIVB rules, that's a double.
Well, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think, again, people who that don't really have the concept of understanding, because again, a ball, it's almost impossible. I mean, you can go down to like the millimeters, right? If a ball is coming this way, it's gonna touch one hand before the other hand. Do you know what I mean? It just looks as though, it's really egregiously coming into one hand or the other. I honestly don't. I've heard that rule. I mean, I heard that's what the refs call, and I honestly don't. I get it. It makes me set cleaner, but I don't think that it should determine a double or not. Because again, if it comes out in a slower pace, sure. But if it comes out quick, you can't really call a lift or a double because you didn't really touch it long enough. You know what I mean? Dude. And that's where I think there's because I've done this a lot where I have like 2 or 3 different ways that I set a volleyball if I'm in a situation. Like if it's really low, it's coming a low pass. I got to get to it. I'm going to set it like nice and quick, at my chin, because as long as it's quick and it comes out clean, it's fine.
Yeah.
If this ball is like really high over my head and I really got to control it, I'm going to catch it all the way up here. I'm going to go nice and long and low, and I'm going to pop that, out, because at the end of the day, that's the rules. So you're playing the rules, but there's really no rules. So you're playing to people's perceptions of the rules. And that's where I think it's wrong, where everybody's got a different idea. You get emotional as a ref, and then the rules start changing. So I think if you just have a little bit more of a definition, a physical,
some explicit
understanding of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, on a side note, which is going to bring us over an hour, ladies and gentlemen, I love this guy's hands. Watching Rob set, your fluidity, your touch is so nice. It looks like an invisible man is like setting the ball before you actually touch it. It's like boom. It's nectar. It waits for the hitter to get there. And everybody should train under this guy. This dude's out there like a savage doing a partnershiping with God knows how many clubs and programs, right? Better at Beach, Endless Summer. Everybody wants them some Rob McLean private lessons. Just make sure you come on time. And respect this man, come with some discipline, and I swear to God, you'll learn a lot. Rob McLean, now that we're over an hour because we had to introduce volleyball into it. I just said volleyball like a hood dude. Is there anything you'd like to say to the world population and our followers?
Just stay happy, stay healthy, y'all.
And that's all I'm going to say. Stay happy, stay healthy. That's all I'm going to say. I'm out. That's Rob. Keep it McLean. This is Sports Debate Tuesday. I'm Jason DeBeas. We love you to pieces. We're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear. And